Hello. Welcome back to another Cruisin with Corey. We are out here on a whatever day it is. Just another Cruisin with Corey quickie here because of a new update that has happened to Shipt. This used to be a channel where I did a lot of Shipt. I haven't done it in the past month because it went downhill, and now, debatably, it's going to go even more downhill. If it's your first time here, I am a dad who cannot work a regular schedule due to just the nuances of how my family, my wife, all the scheduling stuff works. So these gig apps are how I make my money. I take you along for the ride, give you my tips and tricks. Sometimes we go for some travel. But what happened today is Shipt, which traditionally, if you don't know, Shipt is owned by Target. A lot of the orders on the Shipt app are Target deliveries, very similar to how Spark does. The base pay on Shipt traditionally is not quite Spark, but better than Instacart. But the thing with Shipt is you never knew when the customer was going to tip. The only way that you knew if they were going to tip is if you had them in the past and you either did a tip map, which is something I can talk about, or if you had a notebook and you just manually tracked addresses. Now, Shipt has done this. Where on the main screen, when you see your orders, it will show you not a live tip, but based on that customer's history and their order history in the past, or if they put a pre-tip on there, which you can't do if you've ordered from Target.com, but if you ordered the Shipt app, you can put a pre-tip in. They will show you that tip up front as, hey, you'll probably make this in addition to this base pay. Now, my first reaction to this was, that's awesome, finally, there's no more guessing. But then I talked to my wife, I talked to some friends, and I've backtracked my thoughts on that. Part of the reason that Shipt was good was because of the fact that you didn't know the tip up front. So when you took every order, you did every order at face value. I'm gonna get paid $18 for this run, $12 for this run, $30 for this run. I'm gonna give it my all and hopefully there's something extra. You kind of worked on a more traditional scale, like a more traditional, like the tip actually was a tip. I know the pay isn't perfect, but a tip actually was almost a bonus. At least that's how I trained myself on it. I never expected a Shipt tip. They were always a bonus. And that's just because that's how the app kind of worked. And in my area, there's not a lot of Shipt drivers. So there was a lot of opportunities for me to scoop up 2-3 Shipt offers at a time. I knew how the surge game worked. I can get every order basically up to a $20 base pay minimum. Even the smallest order, $20. And there was multiple times where I would batch up $60 in base pay, do 3 quick orders, maybe Uber's trying to interrupt my segment here, nothing good. I could get $60 of base pay and then get some tips and make $100 in maybe a 90-minute period. And then if it's busy enough, go back to the store, do the same thing. Shipt caught on to that. They've lowered base pay, they've changed their promo pay structure. In some places there's no promo pay, it's on-time delivery pay, where they'll pay you more if you get it delivered on time. They're trying to get rid of promo pay. They're trying to lower their premium pay, which makes sense from a company standpoint. That's how all of these apps work. It's all about paying you the least amount they can get away with. They've also lowered their base pay. I've seen a few times, more than a few times lately, that offers on Shipt don't even pay $2 a mile anymore. Well, not even $2 a mile. They don't even pay $1 a mile. I saw a $13 trip for 14 miles yesterday. That's normal on Instacart. It's normal on DoorDash. It's not normal on Shipt. So it is of my thought process here that they are going to use this as a leverage point, not for transparency to you and us as the driver, but they're going to use it as a leverage point to not have to promo pay as much. Because now, all right, I'm going to show them that they're probably going to get a $20 tip from this customer because the customer always tips 20 bucks. They're not going to sit and wait for it to surge anymore. They're going to take it. They know they're going to get an extra 20 bucks of a tip. So we're not going to have to pay as much base pay. More people who come onto this app who are used to DoorDash, used to Instacart, used to Spark, it's now going to look more similar to what they're used to. So now more new drivers are going to come and take that order. If you thought you were going to let it promo, it's not going to sit anymore. So now we're going to be fighting for orders even more, because now that guessing game, that work that you did to develop that relationship with that customer is gone. Because now people are just going to see the tip, that maybe it's a $50 tip. People are going to see it and they're going to snatch it immediately. So the hope is going to be, and this is still something that they do, is preferred shopper. You're really going to have to work, if you're a shifter, to get your customers to preferred shopper you. So that way, when they do that big tip, that way you have that heads up on that order. I think it's like a 2-minute heads up that you get as a preferred shopper before they send it out to the masses. So you're really going to have to work on that. I guess on the positive side, if it's a customer you've never been to before and there's an order sitting there on the screen and it looks kind of meh at base pay, but you see there's a $15 tip on there, maybe you're willing to take that customer, and maybe you can develop that relationship with that customer, because that's what Shipt kind of more is. They treat Shipt more as a business than as an app. Like, it's a more of your business. You're running your business. They advertise it that way as much too. So you're gonna have to develop that relationship, get them to preferred you, and then maybe that'll be more prosperous for you in the future as you develop that relationship with that customer. But I just wanted to come on to talk about that. I haven't been doing Shipt much. This was meant to be a dashing video today, a sparking video. I sat for 2 hours in the parking lot for nothing. Can't get on DoorDash. There's probably 20 drivers in the Spark parking lot right now, so we're just gonna leave and call it later. If you're watching this live, I will have my first live coming out next week, Thursday, September 18th. Hopefully you can see it, 9 o'clock. We'll be there for about a half hour or so. First time, it's probably gonna be a little whatever, but you know, hopefully we can have some fun, have a few of you come out and try to get videos up more frequently. I know I've been slacking off lately. That's on me, but I swear we'll get back into the game. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We're growing this slowly, but we're having fun doing it, and let's see if we can bring some more friends along for the ride. I swear, guys, if it gets busy and I can actually film taking orders, I will. It's just been dead lately. That's why we've been doing these quickies, but sometimes they're fun to do. But either way, this is Cruisin' with Corey. Corey, out.